As the world around us becomes more of an always-on proposition, we're finding that a whole new set of rules are evolving to govern marketing. It's something we refer to in the book as the 4Ps of digital. Preferences and proximity are the first two pillars. They work together to create a very synergistic connection between brand and consumer that's based on preference and location. Because for example, what you're open to right now, you might not want tomorrow. What interests you in one location may be of zero interest to when you're in another. The layering of presence on top of that, which is essentially your level of receptiveness to a marketing message over location and preferences, has the potential to make all of our fears about privacy and about bombarding users with too much unwanted information a thing of the past. And of course, last but not least, portability of content, which is really the first and most fundamental piece in the mobile marketing puzzle overall, makes all of that possible. We envision in the book a number of different ways in which the 4Ps of digital will actually evolve. You know, in reality, they may evolve a little bit differently from the way that we've envisioned them in the book, but there's absolutely no question that separately and together, they're going to be the hallmarks of how you connect with your customers in the years to come. Portability is really, when you think about it, the cornerstone of mobile marketing. As marketers, our jobs were a lot easier when we only had to worry about desktops and laptops and a couple of different browsers. You know, 10 years ago, your biggest worry was, does it work in Internet Explorer on a Mac? But now the content you create has to flow across multiple digital touch points, and that's something that it wasn't in most cases designed to do. Now your site needs to be equally useful and usable and desirable and findable and engaging across desktop and smartphone and tablet browsers, and it needs to provide contextually relevant content and functionality and experiences for each. We think preferences is another one of the most fundamental pillars of mobile marketing. You know, just as iTunes has trained us that it's acceptable to pay for content, the geo-aware capabilities of mobile have begun to train us that it's acceptable to tell brands what we want and to volunteer a small piece of personal information in exchange for something of value, like a deal, or Google Maps is a great example. Your current location is pretty detailed personal information, but you don't think twice about giving it up for something as simple as an address or some directions. So with that move towards volunteering information and stating preferences, rather than casting your nets wide with general offers and broad general content, brands are going to be able to start tailoring their messaging approach to what's actually meaningful to each consumer at any given time. And consumers are going to become more and more willing to actually offer that information up proactively. The ability to actually be where your customers are has always really been kind of the holy grail of marketing and advertising. And now, thanks to mobile devices, this ever-expanding array of connected and convergent places and objects, you can actually connect with a consumer in real time. And not just that, but tailor your message based on their location and their proximity to your brand. And for brick and mortar businesses, there's nothing more powerful than that. Presence is an increasingly important concept in mobile. It's like status, but it differs from status in that it indicates what I'm doing, but it also adds this additional dimension of receptivity that's so vital in the mobile context. You know, for example, Facebook status simply tells you what I'm doing right now. Presence indicates what I'm doing and what it means to you if you want to interact with me. So transferred to the broader spectrum of digital marketing and layered on top of portability of content and preference-based marketing interchanges and proximity-based contextual information, it presents a far richer and more interesting set of possibilities than a simple status message ever could.